Where we are needed. Minfilia is eyeing you with a mixture of regret and desperation. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hoary Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, I am sorry to say that I have as yet been unable to do so. Now, I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents. But I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forego rest and assist us in this matter? Generous to a fault. I thank you, Lavenza. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hoary Boulder and Coltonay were to act as two such escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Lavenza. Hoary Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Yeah, so if this is... I mean, I assume this is... You know, the quest that was available at the same time the Tataru one was. I could see you doing that one next because it was something that came up. But I also see it maybe being less of a... I mean, it's more of a priority maybe in the business sense, but obviously, like, Tataru is a friend, something is up, you know. I would see that would be of higher priority. And then the fact that you come back after helping out Tataru and Minfilia is like, oh yeah, I still haven't found a replacement. It kind of works narratively. So I don't know why they didn't just have those quests in sequence. But maybe things are a bit different if you do it the other way around. I don't know. I had no idea that you would be assisting us personally, Lavenza. My sincerest apologies for dragging you into our affairs. Ah, Lavenza, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coltonay? Our misfortune is becoming a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, but our mission is the same. Separated by mountains we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns. Lavenza, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Lavenza, in spirit, we shall be together every step of the way. I love his kind of... I don't know if it's optimism or energy or whatever it is, but I appreciate it. I will say, I wonder... I think Tataru's, though some might consider it filler, I think would probably need to be done in the MSQ. Obviously, I haven't finished this quest yet, just starting it, but I mean, we'll see by the end of it. You know, once it ends, I'll give my opinion on whether or not it required inclusion in the MSQ. In my humble opinion. At last, the Scion's woman deigns to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. That was kind of a rude introduction. Our first destination is Isamhar. Come, we are late enough as it is. Jesus. And after having Hori Boulder just so excited to even be like doing the same task. And this dude is just like, all right, come on now, woman. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. So very similar quest to the Tataru one. And why does this bar go quicker? It's just... I don't understand. I don't understand why, you know, some of those, like, waiting around progress bars take longer than others. You would think it would just be standardized. I see we have both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome. Though if I could make one suggestion... You might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snakebolt awaits. Shall we? Yeah, you know, whenever I talk about whether or not this should be in the MSQ, it's not because, like, I think it's a bad quest or whatever, but it's trying to, you know, because one of my reasons for doing New Game Plus, particularly through A Realm Reborn, was to experience the MSQ again in the context of essentially, you know, the criticisms about the content itself, and figure, okay, so what could they have just made a side quest or just flat out gotten rid of or whatever. And so far, I'm not convinced that any of them shouldn't be included. Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. And complain because I'm being too noisy. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I am not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. I was like, Roots Lake? Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. Yeah, and this is the entrance. Is it the entrance to Amdapor Keep? Because that would explain the queer, almost blasphemous air. The map doesn't, it just says dungeon, so I don't know. I could click on the little glowy thing, but it's not really worth the time. I think fireworks are going off outside. I live not too far away from a stadium. And they set off fireworks after a game, so maybe that's what's going on. And then this is the lost city of Amdapor, right? As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and ensure our safety. Okay, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage here. Oh, possibly a big old tortoise. Although not as many enemies, easier to just single target it all. Oh, no, here we go. This data should prove invaluable to... Ye gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoise while my back was turned? Well, I did kill an adamantoise. I assume a creep is probably a large group. Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. You chose to paddle in the Ichor up. Okay. You chose to paddle in the Ichor a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient ether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. Oh god, just having to spend more time with this dude is... The least among us. Who better to serve the science of the Seventh Dawn than a humble scholar and his faithful assistant? For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's font. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now, come along. Dude, like, I think an appropriate handling of him is, like, just walk along and just, like, trip him at some point so he just goes face first into the swamp. I think that's fair, given, you know, all he is just kind of has a crappy attitude. Ooh, fly over this. Something else? Oh. Will it? No, it won't let me. That is unfortunate. Yeah, sometimes it seems like the ceiling is not as high as it should be. You know, when it's like you still have to go around like a hill or whatever, as opposed to being able to go over it. You know, and the hill is only a few feet taller than the ceiling. You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. This dude could really use a couple of trippings. Yeah, a few. Oh, cutscene. Yes, quite high. Yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th astral era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, this isn't the quest to open up Odin, right? That wouldn't be a part of the MSQ. Something else. Scion, come here. I need you. Oh, is this Wilred? Oh, that sucks. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. How do they even know? There you are, Lavenza. Hori and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Gutted like a hog. But not by one, no. These wounds were made with a blade. Oh, but not by one. Not by a hog. No, these wounds were made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or his shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What cause had Wilred to come here? What should we do? We will see to the scholar's protection, Lavenza. Aye, and the boy's remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. Yeah, so, okay, clearly this belongs in the MSQ. Gods, what a waste. Pray leave matters here to us, Lavenza. You must return to the Rising Stones and inform the antecedent at once. I've never been this close to a oh gods. We spoke a few times in the Rising Stones. He wasn't as experienced as some of the other braves, but gods, he had passion. And I can't interact. That sucked. I mean, I kind of liked Wilred. Like, he seemed like, you know, a dude with, you know, kind of in the way Alphino is, where he's thinking about, like, the greater good and everything. You know, and I think his naive period passed with, you know, the quest we had done with him in Alamigo. Although, I mean, he was still, I think, naive enough to maybe not see, you know, the shadiness of whoever he was with that killed him. Oh, nobody here. Oh, yeah, because they're all supposed to be, I think, getting ready for the banquet or whatever. Lavenza, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe you? Did the role of escort chafe so? Jeez, why am I struggling with that one? Wilred dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12, how can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Wilred's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this, and why? Yeah, it's... I mean, obviously leading into the whole Crystal Braves betrayal thing, but... to have, like, a named character like that go out... I mean, it adds more impact, but... It's interesting how... Because I was thinking this earlier when, I think it was Minfilia was kind of, you know, mourning the, you know, the losses we've had as the Scions or whatever. You know, Louis Sois, Moonbrita, you know, the people at the Waking Sands. And I was like, but it's almost never any of kind of the main Scions. Obviously, spoiler alert, we lose Papa Limo. But yeah, it is. They kind of bring in character, like secondary characters to then kill off. They don't do it with the main characters. Although we'll see. I mean, there's been some hintings from the lead writer for Endwalker. Ugh. I don't really want any of them to die, but if they take Y'shtola... Although, I mean, I think her day has kind of been coming because it was already, like, said, which we'll be coming to, you know, pretty quickly here in Heavensward, you know, about her eyes and all that stuff, that pretty much it's, you know, she's waning. My dog is sneezing underneath me. What's up, Mid? Huh? What's going on? But yeah, so she's supposed to essentially be kind of ill, so I just don't want to lose her. I like her. And again, a lot of the other characters too, but preferences. Thank you for watching. We're almost done with The Realm Reborn. Next, we're going to be working on the Crystal Tower series, which is now required for the MSQ. So I've actually waited until the quest that requires Crystal Tower, and I'm going to do the tower quests and then go back to the MSQ and finish off A Realm Reborn. So if you're looking forward to seeing more, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see me do this content live, the link to my Twitch is down below. Thank you again for watching, and have a great one.